At this very moment, many people who either work for businesses or run their own business think, I need clients, but I struggle to get enough. And that's exactly the tagline of an international expert who I have with me today. Hello and welcome, Chantal Cornelius.
Hi, Niels. How are you?
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So let's get straight into the topic. People struggle with marketing because many people now realize during this time, I never had a structured approach of marketing at all. I had a leaflet, I had a bit of website, and that was actually it. So when you deal with these clients who have no structure at all, what would be your first advice where to start?
So it's a very good point. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Far too many people just go at marketing in a bit of an ad hoc way. And one of my marketing mantras is ad hoc marketing does not work. So you've got to have a plan for it. You can't just randomly chuck some material out and hope that somebody's gonna hear from you. So I always recommend that people start thinking about the strategic elements of marketing before they jump into the tactics. So a lot of businesses will think, oh, I've got to have a website, I've got to have a leaflet, I've got to be on social media. And that's where they get it wrong. Whereas if you take a step back and you think about what is it that your business actually does? What is it that makes your business different? Where are you going with your business? And who actually are your clients? Spend some time thinking about that, because that then helps you to work out what the key messages are. And that then helps work out which marketing activities you actually need to be doing. So, rather than just blasting out loads of material on LinkedIn or Facebook, get clear on who your ideal clients are, because it may be that they're actually not on LinkedIn and Facebook, or that you're putting out the wrong message for them. So yeah, a bit of strategy required first.
So when we talk about who are your clients, which is in my opinion a very important question, I of course prepared for this interview, and here are some answers which people gave me when I asked them who are their clients. So just real answers. So my clients are business owners. My clients are business people. My clients are people who have problems with time management. My clients are business people in general. What do you think of these answers?
Oh, I despair. I love the fact that you've done some research, and the fact that those are the answers that come out. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I've just written a blog because I said to somebody, who are your clients? Oh, I can work with anyone. Well, if you're going to try and work with anyone, or you're going to try and work with business owners, you're basically promoting yourself to the entire planet, which is fine if you have a gazillion dollars to spend on your marketing. So yeah, anyone who thinks that they can work with anyone is sadly mistaken. So it's like these days, I specialize in working with coaches, business coaches. I used to say coaches, consultants, and trainers, and I've narrowed it down even further, because I'm becoming known as the marketing expert who works with coaches. But a lot of people say, oh, but doesn't that exclude people? Well, yes, it does. So if a consultant comes along and says, oh, please, I'd love to work with you, if they're an ideal client for me and they tick all the boxes, I will probably still work with them. But it makes my marketing so much simpler when people know that I specialize in working with coaches. And that's why anyone who thinks that their target market is business owners, no, it isn't. You've really got to narrow it down as much as possible. And it's not necessarily about the type of businesses. It could be the type of people. It could be women in their 40s who are struggling with divorce, or men in their 60s who want to retire and don't know what to do with themselves, or businesses who have been through certain circumstances. But whatever it is, yeah, I really recommend that the business owners get really specific about who they want to work with.
Yes, and exactly that will be my next question, which you now at least partly answered. When people think of who are my clients, people are very afraid of excluding someone and then make the wrong choice.
Yeah.
How can people be sure that when they narrow it down, and of course, as you said, they will exclude people, how do they exclude the right people and still find enough people who are willing to pay them for their service, especially when it comes to, for example, coaching?
Yeah. So for me, when I work with clients, we do an exercise around figuring out who their ideal clients are. And a lot of the time it comes down to beliefs and values. So like attracts like. You know, we work with people who we like, and we like them because we have things in common with them. And so if, for instance, I'm quite a bouncy, energetic Tigger of a person. I don't like working with people who are slow and depressed and always complaining about the weather. So anyone who approaches me like that, I know that I'm never going to work with them. It just doesn't happen. So by getting clear on who your ideal clients are, you can start to attract the ones who you want to work with, and gently put off the ones who you don't want to work with. So I did some work with a client recently, and he was really, really clear on who his ideal clients are and what sort of beliefs and attitudes and behaviors they have. So what we're going to do is put some of those words onto his website, so that the people who are like him and who get him, they'll look at his website and go, oh, wow, he gets me. That's great. I want to work with this guy. The people who are not like him will go, oh, I don't like the sound of that. And they'll go elsewhere. And that's absolutely fine, because that means that the people he doesn't want to work with will not be phoning him and wasting his time and trying to beat him down on price or trying to get a service from him that he doesn't want to provide. So you've just you've got to be brave. You've got to go through some sort of process of figuring out what makes your ideal clients tick. And actually the best way to do it is think about who you are as a person. You know, particularly for coaches, when you're generally working one-to-one with somebody else, if you as the coach know what makes you tick and what your beliefs and values are, it's much easier to then articulate that in your marketing, and that will attract the right sort of people to you and put off the wrong sort. So there's a certain amount of trial and error in the early days too, until you get the hang of this. So when I first set up my business, back in 2000, I wanted to work with small businesses, and I was probably guilty of saying, oh, I could work with everyone. So even I've done it, but as time goes on, you get clear on, and that's where I eventually honed it down to coaches, consultants, and trainers, and now just coaches. So kind of go with what feels right as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about being brave, of course, and you might have heard that question before. When people talk about marketing, so first, especially when you work with coaches, they sometimes can be quite, let's say, cautious when it is about investing in marketing, because they might wonder, it's a bit of a two-part question. First, they will think marketing sounds expensive. Am I able to afford that? And then, of course, when they know that they're able to afford it, they will think, does it actually work? Is there like a guarantee that I get clients out of this? So how can I know that my marketing really works?
Okay, so firstly, marketing isn't expensive. There is a huge amount of marketing that coaches can do that costs virtually nothing. So most coaches will get most of their business through recommendations from contacts and happy customers, or from networking, whether that's online or offline, whether it's one-to-one networking or in a group. At the moment, my existing clients, 40% of them have come to me because they've heard me speak at an event. 25% have come through a recommendation from somebody, and 20% have come through meeting me at a networking event. So the only cost to me is, well, at the moment there's virtually no cost because I'm doing all my networking and speaking online. But so it doesn't cost me to generate referrals. It costs me when I send somebody a bottle of champagne to say thank you for referring me to a great client. So if coaches, to start with, look at what networking and speaking they can do and how to generate recommendations, those are the best marketing tools they can use. And yeah, like I said, they don't cost very much. In terms of what they're going to get from it and will it work, marketing works when you get it right. The challenge that a lot of coaches have is they still have to do the sales piece. So you could invest in a marketing expert or mentor or somebody to help you to generate the leads, but the coach still has to do the sale bit. They've still got to phone the potential customer and say, do you want to pay me some money? And this is something that an awful lot of coaches struggle with because they don't have the confidence, especially if they're new to business. But this is where when you get your marketing right, when you know who your ideal clients are, they will turn up. They will come to you and go, hello, I've heard about you. I'd like to work with you. And then it's much easier for a coach to say, great, when should we start? Without going, well, how much money do you want to spend? So yeah, coaches need sales help as well as marketing.
Yes. I fully agree. And that is an important distinction, I think, because you have more and more offers on the market where people say marketing and sales are quite similar. Some even claim marketing and sales are the same. So you would disagree with that claim?
I do, but I think that when you get your marketing right, the sales piece is very, very easy.
Yeah.
So I was speaking to a potential client yesterday who's a coach, and I have a sales process that I learned quite a few years ago, and it's all about asking questions, and coaches are very good at asking questions, so they should be able to do this. But it's also about looking at what value you're going to give to your customer. So if you just go straight in and say, it costs X thousands of pounds, they're going to go, whoa, that's expensive. But if you talk to the potential client about what value they will get from the investment, how many new clients they'll get, or whether they'll be able to give up smoking or move to the new house they want, or whatever it is, focus on what value they're going to get. It's then much easier for the potential client to buy into you and go, yeah, I want this. I need these results. Almost the client yesterday, we almost got the first date booked in the diary before I said, do you want me to tell you how much it costs? And he was like, oh, I suppose I should know, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'd already shown what value he could get, not specifically, this is how much money you will earn, but he could see the value that he was going to get from working with me. So, yeah.
Excellent. So when people are now, to wrap this whole interview up, when now people are sitting there and think, wow, I really should get into marketing, what are Chantal Cornelius' top 3 tips to start with marketing from today?
Top 3 tips. Oh, my ABC of marketing.
Yes.
A is ask for referrals. So talk to your existing happy customers and contacts, ask who else they can recommend you to. And when they do recommend you, send them something lovely like a box of chocolates or a bottle of champagne. B is business networking. Get out there, even online, go out and network, go to where your ideal clients hang out. So I network with lots of coaches because I work with lots of coaches.
Yes.
And then C is content. And this is where you are allowed to do a little bit of social media or write a newsletter or a blog or produce a podcast, but share useful content that your ideal clients will lap up. It's not about bragging about what a great day you've had or moaning about what a lousy day you've had. It's about sharing good content. So I might write a blog about the ABC of marketing, and that's where to start. ABC of marketing for coaches.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I will, of course, put your contact data in the show notes of this podcast so people get in touch with you when they still have additional points, aspects they like to talk about, or when they want to think about or actually work together with you. When you're a trainer, speaker, coach, highly recommended. Coach, sorry, we focus.
Just coaches, yep.
Yeah, so coaches. Then, of course, get in contact with Chantal. Her contact data is in the show notes of this podcast. And now, to wrap the interview up, there's only one thing for me left to say. Chantal, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Niels. Great to talk to you.